Call the building committee to order. First on the agenda, approval of the April 6, 2023 building committee minutes.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Next, facilities update. Mr. Toddy.
Good evening. I'll start facilities update where I always do with custodial. We'd let you know that we took advantage of April vacation to get to start doing some carpet cleaning, which isn't something we always get to do, so it's good to get moving forward on that. Grounds, if you were listening at the last meeting, we just started a new grounds employee, Josh Hovey, so we're excited to have some more help in an area where we've been really struggling with people. Maintenance, we took advantage of April vacation, closed out a lot of small projects that had been pending. And we had our first meeting with the Spalding High School administration regarding graduation. So that's kind of on the distant early warning line. Air quality improvement project in 3 pieces, controls. Chamberlain and William Allen are at 99% and 95% complete respectively. McClellan and the middle school are in full progress. The McClellan rooftop ventilation project is pretty much 100%. We're just waiting for some warmer weather so we can really test out the compressors, and excited to see that running. Spalding High School is the big ventilation project. We're gearing up for a big summer slam in there. There's going to be a lot going on this summer, and we're kind of coordinating all of that right now. Boilers number 2 and number 3 will be demolished and removed and replaced this summer. We're leaving boiler 1 intact as a source of steam to get us through next winter. In the following summer, that will come out and we'll be done with steam at that facility, which is pretty exciting. We have a realized savings on all 3 of those projects combined of $305,800. We'll talk about that a little bit more further down the agenda. The Rochester Middle School Secure Entrance Project, with the exception of a couple of little tweaks in software, is complete. All the heavy lifting is done. So this is the middle school as you approach from the outside. And the picture on the left, once you go through the outer doors, you're now in a vestibule where there's a locked door that goes into the office. There's also a pass-through window so you can deal with people in the office without ever going into the office or ever going into the school. That's a locked down area. You could be granted access from there to the office or to the school. The picture on the right is if you're already in the school, you're looking at a set of doors that are locked from the outside, and you can get in and out of the office without having to interact with anybody on the outside. So that's a great project. Bud Carlson restroom project we also completed, and not a lot to look at, which is great, because what we did was we saw cut, or well, what the city did is they saw cut 2 holes in that concrete block wall and gave us access to the men's and ladies room from the Bud Carlson side, and then built walls on the city side so no one who's coming to the registry or any business in the building can go into the school. That's been a long time coming, and it's really exciting to see it complete, and it really makes the perimeter of that facility a lot more secure. So exciting stuff right there. The McClellan ductless mini split project. Picture on the left is the old air conditioner, which, I don't know, I'm going to be sorry to see it go. It's held up by a half-rotted 2x4 with 8 tons of spray foam holding it in place. It's served us well over the years. You can see on the right what some of the replacement equipment looks like. A lot sleeker, a lot cleaner, a lot more energy efficient, and a lot safer, because window units are a way to get in and out of the building. So we'll talk a little bit more about this project further down the agenda as well. Lead in drinking water, we took advantage of April vacation to re-pipe the last. There were 5 fixtures left in the district. 1 of them we abandoned completely. 4 of them were re-piped. Hopefully I'll receive the test bottles early next week. We'll get those tested and hopefully be done with that. Will be the completion of our second of 3 rounds of lead in drinking water testing. Work orders completed for the period of April 1st through April 30th. We completed 75 work orders, which is down from 118. created 113 work orders, down from 153. I think those numbers are indicative of a vacation week. We create less when people aren't here to put work orders in, and when we're doing other projects, we're not necessarily closing as many work orders. Gives us a close ratio of 0.66 to 1, which is down from the previous reporting period of 0.77 to 1. I now have open 37 tickets from the April batch. And we have an average days from assigned to completed of 10.17, which is up from 8.84 the last reporting period. That's all I have for facilities update.
Thank you, Mr. Toddy. Any questions, Mr. Lynch?
Mr. Todd, if you could, can you remind us the measurements for the lead testing, and where we fell with the ones that have been approved?
So it changed. In the first round, it was 15 parts per million, but we chose to remediate down to 5 parts per million. We chose to go further because there were funding dollars available to allow us to do that. So we kind of went the stretch on the first round. The law changed to go to the 5 parts per million, so in the second round, we were testing to 5.
And district-wide, we only have the 4 remaining sinks for testing, correct?
Correct. Every other outlet in the district where a child could potentially get water. And a lot of the requirement is just drinking fountains or nurses or food prep. Like a classroom sink doesn't necessarily need to get tested. The alternative would be you put a sign up there and you say hand washing only, or non-potable water. But kids being kids, they're going to drink anywhere they want to get a drink when they can. So we decided to test everything that water comes out of where a kid can get a drink of water. That's what we tested.
Thank you, sir.
Sir.
Any other questions? All right, moving on to item 3, ESSER-funded construction project change orders.
So in your packet, you'll see 3 change orders that we received from EEI. And my order might not match your order, but the controls project, which was funded by ESSER 2, we saw a reduction of $70,800 on the high school portion of that. And that's largely because of controls in the high school ended up in the high school ventilation project. A portion of those controls were in 2 places, so we were able to back them out here and realize that savings. The McClellan rooftop equipment gym project, we saved $35,000 in steel. There was less structural requirement to put the new heavier units on the roof than we originally thought. And then the big ventilation project is a $200,000 reduction, and that comes from the buyout of the ductwork, which was great. We thought we were carrying pretty big numbers because of the way the economy's been, and when we got right down to it, we were able to save some money on that. If you remember, the big ventilation project was funded from 3 sources. There's ESSER 3 at $8,700,000. And 2 CIP lines at $156,000 and $450,000. So the $200,000 savings needs to get applied to one of them. Rather arbitrarily, I applied it to CIP 23101 because applying it to the ESSER line now involves federal paperwork, and we'd rather just leave that alone. We'll leave that line as it is, and we'll apply this to our local dollars. And I chose that, the 23101, because it's the younger of the 2 lines. So there's your total of $305,800 in money that had been allocated to construction projects that's in savings now. So, now that we know there's money there, let's talk a little bit about the middle school. This is an aerial view of the center of the middle school. Here's the main entrance when you come in. There are 3 carrier package rooftop units here that are ducted through the sidewall, and they serve 3 classrooms on the 2nd floor along this back wall. Originally, all of this area, with the exception of the library, which is served from a unit here, was served from these 2 units. These were ducted in up through the attic, and through the in-between. These 2 units served everything. 2007, these 3 units went in. The capacity remains in these 2 units to serve everything. The 3 units that went in 2007 are the reason that we've evacuated that building twice for gas odor problems. It was never a great design. If you look on the picture on the left, this is where the products of combustion exit one unit, go up a stack, and this is where fresh air comes into the unit next to it. So I've got flue gas and intakes right next to each other. I personally put those risers on, I think in my first week of employment here, to tidy that up a little bit. But the heat exchangers in those units have failed. They're condemned. We're not turning them back on. The ductwork that, when these 3 units were installed, there was a lot of ductwork left in the attic space that was abandoned. There's one of our lovely fire retardant treated trusses, looks in perfect condition. So, we applied for and received final approval for an ESSER 2 funded construction project. So I'm asking for your approval to proceed. And bonded CIP line 23101, we would take $151,453 from that. That would leave a balance of $48,547 in that line, and we'll talk more about that next month. And then $105,800 would come out of ESSER 2. ESSER 2 expenditures have to be by the end of this summer, and we're standing good. We believe we can have no problem getting this work done over the summer. It's going to result in a much safer environment where we get rid of potential gas leaks. So there's my ask, is for approval of these 2 lines.
Any questions, Mr. Lynch?
Just so we're clear, there's no additional impact to our next year operations budget with this request?
No, sir, there's no impact to, and this is all dollars that were already in ESSER funded construction projects. So we won't see any difference. We're really just shifting it around,
Yep.
but needing your approval to do that.
Okay.
Mr. Bass?
Maybe I missed it, but what exactly are you doing? You're pulling out?
I'm so sorry, maybe so these 2 units that used to serve everything are going to once again serve everything.
Okay.
And you're right, I guess I didn't get to that. So these 3 will come out. The sidewall penetration where all that ductwork goes through will get sealed up and rebuilt and reconfigured. Then we'll go back up into the attic and demo all of the abandoned ductwork and reconfigure it with 3 or 4 new VAV boxes, which is a project we did a couple of years ago to put all new VAV boxes serving the admin and guidance and nurse and special ed area. We're just going to add this to that system. And there's capacity in that system to handle the additional load.
How old are the 2 systems there that you're reconnecting?
These were replaced less than 10 years ago. I think I replaced them in probably my 2nd year here, so it's probably about 8 years ago.
In pretty good shape?
Oh yeah, they're standing solid. If they're about 8 years old, they've got about 10 years of life expectancy in them.
Okay.
And the ductwork that serves has an indefinite life expectancy. VAV boxes are only a couple of years old. They probably have 20 years ahead of them. So,
Thank you.
yes, sir.
Mr. Lynch?
Mr. Todd, can you go back to the previous screen, please? The one with the numbers on it? Thank you. I'd like to make a motion for Mr. Toddy to allocate the $257,253 of ESSER and CIP bonded money for the middle school project.
Is a motion made, is there a second?
Second.
Discussion, Mr.
Do we have, so this is the line that we're, so the 23-101 is the line that is getting the $200,000 put back in.
Correct.
So do we have to do anything as far as reallocating any of that back?
No.
Okay.
As long as, as soon as we approve the budget for it to be allocated to the lines, they manage the lines appropriately.
Okay, that's,
Yep.
thank you.
No, it's a good question.
Any other questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Next item on the agenda, McClellan ductless mini split air conditioners.
So you saw some pictures earlier of the McClellan ductless mini splits, and that project is a great project. The company did an excellent job, Northeast Climate LLC. There was a bid opening on February 23rd of this year. There were 3 respondents. Northeast Climate was the low bidder at $18,420. That included the installation of 4 independent ductless mini split systems that picked up administration areas and the teacher's room at McClellan. We have need of the exact same project in Gonick, with 3 units going to administration nursing space and 1 going to the teacher's room. So what I'm asking for here is the board's approval to extend the bid from Northeast Climate to do a second job of 4 systems for $18,420. The money would be at the superintendent's discretion. I believe there's some end-of-year funds that if we're in good enough shape to be able to fund this $18,000, we would. Not saying we're definitely gonna do it, I just want your approval so that we're ready to do it if we feel like we're in a good position to do that.
Mr. Lynn?
So walk me through why we're doing this now? Just extend the bid because you need more time with the bid, or?
The funds that we would be allocating to do this would need to be expended by June 30.
Correct.
We go through another bid process and rebid out the same project.
I understand.
We're not gonna meet the June 30 deadline. We're still, the bid shelf life is about 90 days. We're well within that. So it's still an active, valid bid. It's the exact same project with the same square footage. So we're just looking, and they did a great job. I don't know if you've been out there to see it. It is really clean and really nice. So we're just looking to do it again.
Mr. Pappas?
So I'm trying to think back when my kids were at Gonick School, the principal's office and the nurse's office where these are all going, they had window units, right?
Yes, they did, and there's the big problem. Those window units are, first of all, they're extremely heavy. They're big. They're not like your home window unit. They're a little bit bigger, but we take them in and out. So there's back injury risk every time we have to move these things around. But they're at ground level. So entrance into that building through that window unit it's just a flaw in our perimeter security.
And as I recall, I remember, I forgot which principal it was, whether it was Dr. Oakman or
Ms. Rhodes?
Gwen Rhodes. But one of them said that unless you turn that on at dawn, that the principal's office does not ever cool down. So I mean, I imagine that a ductless system would be stronger than this.
Yeah, absolutely. This would solve that problem, and it would be, the first 4 spaces is, if you're standing at the front door of the main door, New Gonick, the front door, the ground level window is immediately to your left. The first 2 are, well, the first 2 are actually the lobby. The next 2 are administration, the reception. The next 2 are the principal's office. The next 2 are the nurse's office. The next 2 are the teacher's room. And that's what we're gonna pick up right there.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Lynch?
Is there a date you need us to extend to?
No, sir.
Just extend a bid. Okay. Mr. Monk, if I could, sir?
Absolutely.
I'd like to extend the bid on the ductless mini split air conditioner system.
All right, motion and second. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. All right, next on the list is 5-year plan.
You're just waiting for some budget approvals
Yep.
for the city, and then that would actually put your plan in place.
Right.
Excellent. So, next on the agenda, public comment. Any public comment for the building committee? Please state your name, address, and limit your comments to 5 minutes, please.
Hello, my name is Tiffany Peabody. I was just coming up to ask if you could speak to each other and other about the boys' locker room at the middle school, because I brought some stuff in last month for you guys to discuss, the U-bars. I just don't know what happened with that. So I'd either discuss it in other or discuss it amongst yourself, I don't know. Please just discuss it and let me know if that's a good thing or if I should look for something else. Thank you.
Anyone else? All right, public comments closed. Next item on the agenda is other. Anything under other? Mr. Lynch?
Mr. Toddy, can you give us an update on the bathrooms, please, sir?
So, I'd just like to, this is our December building committee meeting. Oh, there we go. So let me begin with this. I may have miscommunicated to somebody in an email, and if I did, pick up the phone and call me, right? I'm not trying to mislead anybody ever. I think I might have said that we put curtains up at both the middle school and the high school. We only put them up at the middle school. mea culpa, it's just, the question came months after the discussion here, and I'm certainly not trying to mislead anybody. So let's revisit the discussion that we had. This is the middle school locker room changing areas. As you can see, they're pretty wide open. This is the middle school showers. On the right is the boys. You can see it's wide open. On the left is the girls. It lends itself a little bit more to some privacy. At the high school, we have the exact same situation. You have boys on the right, girls on the left, and boys shower on the right, girls shower on the left. It's the partition walls here and the bars with the curtain hooks in place that kind of made me commingle those two in my mind. The discussion that we had was at the middle school, the boys' locker room has one stall plus the coach's bathroom. So anybody in the boys' locker room wanting a private area to change, there's 2 areas immediately available. In the girls' locker room, there are 2 stalls plus the coach's bath. So anyone in the girls' locker room has 3 areas immediately available. Speaking with the principal and Mr. Colson, anybody can change in the team area before heading down to class. There's gang bathrooms and private restrooms in all of the team areas, so those could be made available. And immediately adjacent to the gym is band and chorus area where there's more private restrooms available. So there's a decent amount of other changing areas. They're not, we don't have, our restrooms weren't built to provide private changing areas. And our locker rooms were built as wide open areas for the boys with a little more privacy for the girls. That's how they were put together. High school, similarly, in the boys' locker room, there's 3 stalls plus a gang bath in the lobby. So there's 4, the gang bath in the lobby is, it's off limits to, with somebody could let a student in to change. It's not like there's gonna be people coming in and out, it's a closed facility. The girls' locker room has 5 stalls plus, again, the off limits gang bath in the lobby. So there are 6 areas there for girls. And again, the coaches have relayed that when I talked to them, they said they don't really feel like there's a great need from students talking to them. If students were to talk to them, the teachers and the coaches would try to accommodate them as best they could with the facilities that we have. So that was the presentation that I made, and we talked about hanging curtains at the middle school. I had some hesitation because I thought they were going to get torn down. I was wrong. The curtains that went up at the middle school was very low dollars. We were able to put some curtains on those showers, and those are now private changing stalls. It doesn't address the boys, and it doesn't address the high school. At the high school, we could add curtains on the girls' side for very low cost. Hopefully they would fare as well as the ones at the middle school did. The boys' locker room is a wide open, the boys' shower area of the locker room, it's a wide open space. I understand that there was some documents brought forward to the school board. I did ask for a copy, didn't get one, there was only one brought. It went to the board, it never made it to me. So I don't know what that is. I was never given any direction by the board to research this. So if we want to look at this product, I'm happy to. I don't know what the product is, I haven't seen it yet.
Okay.
Anything else under other?
Thank you, Mr. Tony.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Camille?
Just point of clarification, you've spoken with the phys ed teachers, the coaches, the athletic directors, the instructors that are, and the kids are aware that if they need to, other alternative changing areas or whatever, that they're available?
So I made several trips to visit coaches, instructors, teachers at different facilities on different days over the course of several days. And I kept getting, to a person, I got the same response. We want kids to take PE. We're going to do whatever we can to help them take PE. If they're uncomfortable, they're concerned about changing, there are people in the building that will help. Just got to ask for it. Help is there, you got to ask for it. That's the feedback I got from different people on different days. It wasn't like they were all standing together, everybody saying, oh yeah, what he said, right? Kept coming from different times and different positions and getting the same response from the people in the building.
Anything else? All right, last item is adjournment.
So moved. Second.
All right, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?